John, why didn't you complete your assignment? This is the second time this has happened. I'm very disappointed in you. In the midst of a tense classroom, the teacher's words hang heavy in the air. John, a usually diligent student, finds himself at the center of the confrontation. Swallowing his nervousness, he begins, "I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, I had some personal issues that needed immediate attention." In the background, two students, Sarah and Mike, exchange whispers and giggles, poking fun at the unfolding situation, but this is no laughing matter. John's voice grows sincere as he continues, "I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, I had some personal issues that needed immediate attention." Sarah, quick to inject her thoughts, scoffs, "John's always finding excuses." But John stands his ground. "It's the truth, Sarah." Amidst the murmurs and laughter, one thing becomes clear. John is willing to take responsibility for his actions. "Mr. Johnson, I don't mean to make excuses or joke about it. I had a family emergency last night, and it required my full attention. I understand that it's not an ideal reason for not completing the assignment, and I apologize for any inconvenience caused." "Seriously, Mr. Johnson? John's always finding excuses. Maybe he just didn't feel like doing the work." The air in the room thickens as student one lobs this accusation at John, a palpable tension brewing. John, taken aback, defends himself. "That's not fair, Sarah. I genuinely had a family emergency and it needed immediate attention. I understand it's hard to believe, but it's the truth." His voice is firm, his eyes steady, his sincerity shining through. The teacher, Mr. Johnson, steps in, his tone stern. "Sarah, John, let's maintain a respectful atmosphere." His words cut through the tension, grounding the conversation back to the matter at hand. "John, I appreciate your honesty and I'm sorry to hear about your family emergency. In the future, please try to communicate such situations to me as soon as possible and we can work out an alternative plan." John nods, grateful for the understanding. "Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'm willing to make up for the missed assignment if you can provide me with an opportunity to do so." His words reflect a willingness to take responsibility, a maturity that wasn't there at the start of the conversation. Mr. Johnson softens his eyes, reflecting a newfound respect for John. "I appreciate your willingness to take responsibility, John. Let's discuss a plan to address the missed assignment and ensure you catch up on the material. I'll also offer some guidance on time management and handling unexpected situations." The room is quiet. The tension has dissipated, replaced by an understanding of the situation at hand and a plan for the future. It's a resolution that showcases the power of open communication, humility, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. It's a lesson not just for John, but for everyone in the room, a lesson that will hopefully resonate beyond the classroom walls. Wow, John handled that situation quite well. It's not every day that you see someone take responsibility for their mistakes in such an honest and mature way. It's easy to make fun of someone when they're in a difficult situation, but it's not always the kind, nor the right thing to do. You know, there's a lesson to be learned here. We were quick to judge John, assuming he was just making up excuses to avoid doing his homework. But it turns out he was dealing with a real family emergency. It's a reminder that everyone has their own battles to fight, and we shouldn't be too quick to judge or make assumptions. We laughed and whispered about John, thinking he was just trying to get out of the assignment. But he was telling the truth. He was dealing with something serious and still had the courage to stand up and explain his situation. It's not easy to open up about personal issues, especially in front of the entire class. John also showed a lot of maturity when he proposed a solution to make up for the missed assignment. Instead of trying to evade the situation, he took responsibility and showed a willingness to rectify his mistake. That's something we all can learn from. It's easy to make fun of someone when they're in a difficult situation, but it's not always the right thing to do. We should have been more understanding and supportive of John. After all, we're all in this together and we should be helping each other out, not pulling each other down. Maybe next time we should be more understanding and less quick to judge. We owe John an apology. He didn't deserve the jokes and the whispers. He deserved our understanding and our support, and moving forward, that's exactly what we're going to give him.